This is Ashley Downing with the Roving Festival Writer. We're here at the Stranger Danger Festival at the Abbey Pub here in Chicago. I'm sitting down with Tonal Caravan. They just played an awesome set earlier today. So gentlemen, do you mind just telling me a little bit of the band history? Where you're from, how the band was formed, founded, all of that good stuff.
Well, the band started in Knightstown, Indiana. Stu and I are the oldest members here. And we went to high school together, started playing in rock bands, and it just went on and went on and went on. We found ourselves at Ball State, where we met Ian Taylor on keys, and he joined, and just brought a whole new level to the group. We'd been doing like trio blues rock stuff before then, which has a certain energy to it, but it gets, it wasn't really satisfying us. So Ian really brought a whole new edge to the group, and Matt's been a really good friend for a couple of years now, and he used to play in a band Catch Critters, and actually I played in the band with Matt too, a couple of bands before. And he's actually only been involved in Tonal Caravan for a couple of months now, but I'd say he's one of us for sure.
Nice.
But it's been going steadily for about 10 years.
10 years,
Yeah.
Excellent. It's a great name too. It really does encompass everything that you're going for. I like it.
The name is somewhat new though, because
Okay.
we used to go as a band called One Side Later. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that there's like a history of at least, members of this group playing together that goes back several, 10 years, like he said. But Tonal Caravan, and under that name, and kind of with like the focus towards, the direction it's been headed in, is probably more like what, a couple of years?
Not even.
Probably last year, maybe about a year and a half, yeah.
Okay. So since you are traveling quite a bit, what would you say keeps you focused and motivated when you're out on the road?
Just having, it's fun to go out, and have like the social part of, going to events. And when it's called a festival, whether it's indoors or outdoors, and there are a lot of bands playing, there is like a certain, I think, excitement, and that, not that we don't, we love to play whenever, and if it, especially if it's a gig where there's some people there, and we have a great time, but going out to festivals is even greater, I guess.
I'd say that's definitely an inspiration.
Yeah,
hanging out with the crowd.
People, man.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is what makes us, for me, energetic.
The best part about it all, though, what really keeps me wanting to take it further and further, is just that moment where you're standing on stage and you think to yourself, I don't even need to play right now, because the band is pumping so hard. And you maybe all turn around and look at Ian on the keys solo, and then I'll scream at him or something. Just something weird to kind of lighten the mood, and I'd say that's my favorite part, right when I'm about to take a solo. Like, okay, I've let him solo long enough. It's my turn. That moment is what keeps me going, probably.
You can tell this is the lead guitar guy. But no, I just did that.
Well, that kind of goes into my next question too. Why does playing music make you happy?
It's
Because nothing else does.
It's the best utilization of now. Even right now, this interview is not about this interview. It's about the music. But when that music's playing, it's all about being in that moment, because that's all you really have. And once that moment's gone, once it's there, it's always there for that moment. But once it's gone, it's always gone too.
I think when you go and see bands, we're all into a lot of eclectic and exotic music that has a lot of adventurous qualities and a lot of improvisation, and when you see a really great band do that, you kind of wonder, like, where is that coming from? And if you know anything about playing any instrument or anything, or if you're just somebody who listens a lot, you wonder, like, where does that come from? And there are so many books and so many methods of learning and paths to being a great player or having a great band, but it's so elusive at the same time. And but having those little moments, even when they're like fleeting moments, where you're doing something that's completely unplanned, spontaneous, and it sounds great, and even in the moment you're playing it, that it sounds good, and having even just...
It sounds like shit.
Or, yeah, it works both ways. I just say that those like adventurous and spontaneous moments, and they really like cut through a person, you know, and it's something that I think is kind of felt like as the, you know, by the crowd as a whole and by each individual person. Having those really great musical moments when you're playing or when you're listening, I think are probably what motivate me more than anything. I mean, all of the practicing and all the stuff you have to do to like get some chops and be able to like seize those moments when they happen, that takes up a lot of time, but I feel like, you know, anytime you're really thinking about it too much, it usually sounds kind of bland or it sucks, you know, or like, well, that guy's got some chops, but what he's playing is boring, you know, and being able to captivate yourself, your bandmates, or anyone who's listening, you know, sometimes it doesn't happen as much as you want, but when it does, it kind of like pays off all the work, all the hassles of traveling around. It makes everything worth it, to me.
Most definitely, yeah.
Nice. So, what would you say has driven you all as a band to get where you're at today? And also, what would your ultimate dream be as a group, as a band?
I think that most musicians have the same dream, and that's not to have a day job, to do nothing but play
Not
music.
to need to have a
To
day
make a
job.
living.
A lot of them don't have them, but
to be able to just to do what you do and do it well and have fun with it and not worry about the financial side of things, which can be a real bitch, especially, you know, for us that are getting out of college with all these student loans and everything. And yeah, we teach music throughout the week, you know, which helps bring in some money, but for the most part, all of us are here, you know, just waiting until we can do this and call it a living, pretty much. Which we do it for a living now. It's just, you know,
If you live doing it, you're making
financial living. Yeah.
Right.
But, and I mean, none of us is really greedy for money or, you know, that's not an end in itself. That's just more a matter of being able to keep playing and continue to do it and be, you know, have our lives taken care of
And-
well enough. But
and just to keep progressing too.
Yeah. That's
As you
a
know,
huge thing.
musicians, and make sure the songs keep progressing. They're getting better and they're getting tighter, and you're getting to the point where you know them so much where you can almost just forget about them, and it's almost like you're improvising on top of the song that you know so well that you can just kind of float on top of it. Like it's almost playing itself, you know, and that can be really hard to get to.
But that's what all the really great bands that
Do,
you know,
yeah.
are doing. What it is our goal, and probably everyone else's goal here to do. You know, no matter what they play or stylistically what they do, or how knowledgeable they are about the theory of what they're doing or not, is that all of those bands
Tequila
provide
helps
those
too.
adventurous, those moments, and all of those people have progressed and gotten to a level where the music itself is kind of self-sustaining instead of just, you know, I mean, they may rehearse, I'm sure they practice, but, you know, if you see like Fish go out and play You Enjoy Myself, you know, they probably haven't been thinking about like what note to play on a tune like that for a long time, you know, and that's how they like have those cathartic moments while they're playing, because they're not bogged down with just, well, I gotta play this tune right.
Just enjoying it, letting it go, getting the mind out of the way. And I think that's a huge part of everything in life. You know, not letting your mind get to the point where it kind of blocks you from seeing what's really happening. You know, which I think thinking too much about anything will do that to you, especially when you're, you know, playing music, being on stage. You know, there's so much to think about.
Well,
Oh, this girl smiling at me here, or you know, the lights in my eyes, or my microphone isn't loud enough in my monitors, or the keyboards aren't, you know, quite to where I can hear them perfectly. There's so much that's going around, but you just gotta let it loose and be like, oh well, here we are.
Yeah.
Go.
You just gotta go. Because the second you start thinking about what you're doing, your mind can't keep up with what the rest of you is capable of, because you have much more than your ego. And if I stop to think about what my snare's doing compared to my bass drum, compared to my hi-hat, and again what he's saying with what he's doing, it's all got to communicate and be just this one thing that's containing everything. you can't
Then
comprehend
you're
that.
drunk
You
and you're
just
like-
you have to let go and go into that moment. And when you let go into that moment, it becomes honest music, and that's what people want to hear. People don't want to hear that squeaky clean thing that you can do the same way 1,000 times. You know, they want to hear something that is of that moment and will never be again. I think that's what I enjoy in music.
So what are your future plans and goals as a band? Your upcoming like work that you're doing, do you have anything in the works, any new albums, anything that you're doing particularly this summer that you'd like to let everybody know about?
I think our goals for the summer is just to make it so people know about us.
Solidify.
You know, like I said, Tonal Caravan, we've been playing together for a long time, but as Tonal Caravan, it's still pretty new, and I think people are just kind of starting to really catch on to it and
Yeah.
I mean,
know
this
that
guy's only
we
known
even
us for 2
exist.
months, right?
Yeah, you know, so I really think that for us, you know, all we can do right now is just keep pushing it and go harder and harder and keep growing. And of course, an album is something that is going to be in the making as soon as we can get that happening.
We record all of our shows and we put them on archive.org. So I mean, we have that avenue for people to check it out if they, you know, want to listen before they go to a show or whatever. So in September, that's in Spencer, Indiana. Other than that, we've got various gigs around the Midwest.
Mousetrap.
Yeah, we're playing there August 4th with the Twin Cats at the Mousetrap in Indy, July 14th with Max Allen Band. You know, I guess that's kind of our pursuit. You know, our end goal is to have this be, you know, a full-time touring band where we're out playing increasingly better shows and making, you know, progressing as a band and artistically, consistently, and you know, I guess right now though the immediate goal is to just, you know, get every weekend full of good gigs and meet all the other bands around.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So you mentioned the archive website. Can you tell us any other places that we should look up to find your dates and your other music and stuff? What's the best way to find you? You do? What's the website? Tonalcaravan.com?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And
And Facebook as well.
We got a Facebook and a Reverb Nation, SoundCloud.
Great, guys. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great summer with all of your travels and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
us.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks.